so this is the nightmare that I've been dealing with the JZX. I was at one of the drift events. I think it was the second one I did with this car. I feel like I over-centered the rack or something, and then I just started puking a bunch of oil out of this seal over here and realized the rack was probably done. So I started researching, like, what can I do to actually fix this? JZX 100 racks are ridiculously expensive. You're looking at like $400 to $500 for a used crusty rack. I could rebuild it, but finding someone to rebuild it, I don't know where to go with that. So what I ended up doing was I went with the Altezza SXE10 steering rack, which I think is extremely similar. Everything bolts up. All these same mounting points. Hard lines are a little different, but it all works. Like, the car drives, it steers perfectly fine. It goes lock to lock. Putting this rack in, the thing that I found that was a little different was the steering shaft was a little too short to actually reach the stub that's coming out of the rack. So what I ended up doing was I got this shaft extension from Part Shop Max, and it extends the shaft about 1 inch-ish, like almost 1.5 inches. This came in clutch. It was awesome. It was super easy to install. Another issue I ran into, which was my own fault, when I put on the hard lines onto the Altezza rack, I ended up stripping the high pressure side out on the rack itself, which I put on the OEM hardline from the JZX 100. It put pressure on this hardline and it caused the bolt to strip. It was just at a weird angle or something, and it stripped it out. I had my buddy Nick weld a bung into the rack and it works perfect. Like, I'm super happy with it. No leaks, nothing. But yeah, everything's good. The car is driving again finally, and yeah, we're torquing up the wheels and we're gonna drop it down and take it for a test drive. Drive straight. So I measured the Altezza. I'm going to go back and measure the 100 to see where it's at. But so far, having the Altezza rack in here, this thing feels a little more twitchy, which I really do like. I don't like that sound though. That was weird. Car feels good. Steering rack feels really good. The noise that we're hearing, it just feels like it's a creak from the little pillow ball bushing that we put in on one of the tension rods. So I'm just gonna throw some lube in there and it'll probably make it be quiet. But it's only under like compression. It doesn't feel like the coilover. Like, you'd turn the wheel and it feels like it's coming straight out of that bushing. So lube it up and I'll probably just go from there, honestly. But other than that, the car feels solid. It's good. Steering rack feels good. There's no leaks out of it. It feels really responsive, which I like. There's, especially at low speeds, it's a little stiffer, which I like. And the JZX 100 rack was a little more like, I don't know, luxury car-y. This feels a lot more sports car, but definitely a good swap. Like, if you're ever having to do a swap on your JZX 100 to something else for a steering rack, SXE10 racks are relatively cheap. I got mine for like $300 shipped, which isn't a bad deal for actually quite a bit newer steering rack by like 4 or 5 years. But yeah, it's definitely the move, I think. Yeah, can't wait to drift this thing now. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow we're gonna align it and get everything dialed in. I gotta fix a couple seals on it and it should be good to go. So I just got off work and I saw on Sage's story that he was starting to prep his car to paint because he had some clear coat going on one of his quarters. Then he sends me this picture and the entire side of his car is stripped. So I'm gonna go check it out and see how far he's gotten, because he's a madman when it comes to body work. So he probably has the whole thing like primed already or something crazy.
I got this G35 about 2 years ago-ish, actually a little bit less than that. It was actually in pretty good shape, had some damage to the right quarter and the bumper. And Bondo was coming off a bit, it'd been in some sort of a collision, but I thought, well, I'm gonna take it to a couple drift events first before I fix it to make sure I'm not just gonna smash it on whatever I can. Didn't, I actually went through, I think, 5 events or so without crashing into anybody until I got a little confident and I spun in front of somebody and I got a little bonked in my bumper. I ended up fixing that. I put it all back together. I did the body work, painted that whole quarter, put a new rear bumper on it, painted the roof. The factory clear on the other side of the car has started to fail and all the clear coat's coming up. So I was gonna just respray it, but you look down the side of the car and there's door dings, there's spots where people have leaned on it with their hands, maybe some elbows or something. And it's just like, painting over dents is the worst. Don't do that. Just never do that. I thought it's just gonna be real quick. I'm just gonna knock down the clear that's fading and fix a couple dents, and now I have the whole side of the car, all the little dings and stuff. I've been here for like 6 hours. But I did just mix primer and I'm about to go spray primer, so we're getting somewhere.
I told you it was gonna be in primer almost.
There's a couple little body waves, but this is primer, so we'll just lock it. It's a wave right here from me going a million miles an